guys, TheMtVernonkid here back again, and welcome back. Guys, your alpha is here because, well, we got another movie review for you guys. So your boy has just, last night, I was up late, and 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I'm a night owl, guys. But anyway, I was up late, and I was like, you know what, let me watch the Reign of the Superman. I forgot it came out, so I'm like, okay, let me watch it. So I watched it. So this is kind of my thoughts and review on the sequel to uh, Death of Superman. And I have to say, straight off the bat, not bad. This was the 12th movie of this DC animated universe, but overall, I believe it's the 33rd of the original movie, something like that. If I'm doing my math correct, but this is the continuation of the story. So the the story does revolve around now 6 months now, and of course, people are still reeling from the death of Superman after he was killed by Doomsday, and his body is missing. And of course, the story, 4 new characters show up, revealing to basically in images of Superman: Steel, Superboy, the Eradicator, and Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw, basically. And the world wants to know who these characters are. Who are these people? Why are they claiming to be someone they're not? Now, it was never stated that Steel was Superman. He made it perfectly clear. Cress Williams does the voice. Black Lightning does the voice of Steel, and I must say, I have to put it out there, this was a great representation of Steel. I loved how Steel was portrayed in this. I have always had a soft spot for John Henry Irons, and it was great to see him portrayed probably in all the animated forms he's had better. He looked like Steel. He just didn't look like a prototype Iron Man with a hammer. He looked like the Steel that I know. The cape, the crest, everything. And the way he used his hammer in this was great. I loved it. Of course, we got Superboy, who I love how the people described him. Basically, Superboy is if the Kardashians raised him, and he kind of is that way, especially in the beginning, before he finds out the news that he's a clone. The Eradicator is no joke, like he's supposed to be, like no emotion, just eradicate. And Superboy and Cyborg Superman is the man of mystery. The voice acting was really good. It amazes me that that's Jerry O'Connell doing Superman's voice. And you never think that's Jerry O'Connell, but it is. And his real life wife Rebecca Romaine doing Lois. Rosario Dawson doing Wonder Woman, my baby. You got Nathan Fillion doing Green Lantern, which is great. James Amar doing Batman, still doing Batman. But this movie still revolved around how people were dealing with the death of Superman, and how they're getting along with it. Are people getting along with it? Are they not? It also brings up the question of, do we rely on how much? It basically played up also how much this universe relies on him, like as a hero and as a symbol, and we get to see that's been played out with every of these characters, in a sense. When Superboy finds out that he is a clone and he is a part of Superman, he knows that that's his father, and he finds out that Lex Luthor is his father too. He's kind of torn at best, because Lex wants more from him, even to the point he doesn't even want to be called Superboy. But he is a young man. He's not a man. He's still a young man in a sense, but he really gets aggravated when people call him Superboy. Lex thought, okay, you got all the strengths of Superman, but you got my intelligence. And Lex in this is just as conniving and as dickish but he also, in a sense, is kind of like he's kind of walking that line in a way. Um, but we also see there was also just the animation alone was pretty good too. I really enjoyed the animation as well. But over time, we start to see where these Supermen stand, where they where they go. Why are they doing this? With Steel, it's because he owes Superman his life. He saved his life, and it's true. Back and it's Steel was first showcased when was John Henry Irons? I think it was um, when Atlantis, Throne of Atlantis. I think they showed him in that when Superman saved his life. So, and he tells Lois, that's why he does it. Why he's doing it, and it does have a little bit of an Iron Man feel because when his armor comes off, like there's all these machines, and it was cool. But I love how his hammer. It's not just it's a hammer, but he could put a little bit more thrust into it because there's thrusters on his hammer. So when he swings it, it's like it's more thrust coming. So and he can like it's almost like Mjolnir. It comes back to him and everything like that, which is really cool. They put a lot of effort into Steel to make Steel. I really think the people behind this really looked at what DC did with Steel in the animated shows and was like, we can do it better. And that's what they did. They really made Steel stand out, and I loved it. I applaud them. Thank you for that, because I'd always had a big soft spot for John Henry Irons, and it was good to see them play that up better. But when you start to get a feel, because if you know the story, you know what it was all about. But when you start to get a feel that cyborg Superman is not who he says he is, then that's when the plot thickens for a lot of. If you've never read the story, that's when the plot thickens. And we do see Darkseid is in this. One of my favorite DC villains is in it. Tony Todd, Mr. Candyman himself, voicing Darkseid. Not bad. I would have thought not bad, because Tony Todd's got that voice. Like, if he deepens it, I thought he was gonna deepen it a little bit more, because if he deepens his voice, it's creepy. It's like, oh god. But he voices Darkseid in this, and they still play up the whole keeping continuity of the war between Apocalypse and the Justice League, like going back to Justice League War, and from there, when Superman does return, it's like they take it straight from the comics. Like, he's in the black suit, he's got the mullet, and it was like, oh yeah, look at him, he's got the mullet, he's got the black suit, and Superboy gets to see one of his biological fathers, and he even says it, oh, what are we gonna do, Dad? Like it felt really genuine when they showed that. Like, you see the nuances between how Connor feels about Lex and how he feels about Kal-El. Even when after when Connor starts to get it kind of that real Kryptonian DNA starts to take over, and he's just like, hey, all right, we got to do something. Like, I want to help. And Lex is like, no, you're not. You're not. You work for me. And because on his jacket it has the L, and Connor rips it off and just flies off to go help his dad and Steel and everybody like that. The Justice League is kind of taken out a little bit early in this, and I don't mean in a disrespectful way. They got boom tubes somewhere. So when Cyborg Superman starts to really start this invasion, it gets that way. The only thing I would say that I did not like was like, wow, was it really necessary to have Darkseid in this then? Because, spoiler alert, Darkseid's not really a threat into this. This was mainly, the main threat was Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw, and his grudging hatred for Superman because of he blamed Superman for the death of his wife and his death, in a sense, because Superman wasn't there to help him, just proving that Superman can't be everywhere. But we also get an indication that Doomsday in this world, Doomsday was sent by Darkseid. Darkseid sent Doomsday down. So it's like, okay, there's some nuances they put to this series. I haven't read Death of Superman in so long, so and the aftermath of it I haven't read in so long, so it was I'm trying to remember. I was like, that ain't happen, right? No, because it is adapted, but this was a very good adaptation of the this story arc. Um, they did a really good job, and by the end of the when the end of they do all these like these post credit scenes. We get to see the Justice League now saying, you know what, we're done with this. We're taking the fight to Darkseid now. And who else is coming along with them? Yeah, I'll leave that right there. And so I'm guessing the next, Justice League movie will be something, Justice League, Storm of Apocalypse or Raid of Apocalypse, War on Apocalypse. No way, they can't do that. Well, I don't know, just something. But yeah, this was a really good. I did enjoy this. I did enjoy it for what it was. The animation was good. The voiceover acting was really good. I really enjoyed the voice acting in this. There were scenes that really just showed you how much of a dick Lex Luthor is. Just showed you how much that the people rely on Superman in a sense, like in that manner. But he is a symbol. He's a symbol, and I love I love what they did with Bibbo, the Bebowski in this, which was really good too. But I cannot applaud them more for how they portrayed Steel in this. Steel was great. Cress Williams did a great job voicing him too. But I cannot applaud them so much. Sam Liu, who directed this, I cannot applaud you guys. Everybody worked on this so much. Thank you for what y'all did with Steel. I loved what y'all did with Steel in this. That was how I want Steel to be, and how I wanted him to be portrayed, even in the old animated shows. Because he really looked like Steel. He looked like Steel. He acted more like Steel. He just didn't look like a prototype drone. I'm sorry, but yeah, I never liked classic Steel's look. I never liked it. This was Steel. I was like, yeah. And I applaud them what they did with his hammer. The nuances they brought with his hammer, the whole, the booster rockets on the hammer. So when he's swinging, it's like he could swing it faster. Like, because there's times he's fighting and it's like, okay, this is a big sledgehammer he's got. So he really doesn't have superhuman strength like that. So, swinging that at high speeds will take a lot of it, but with the thrusters, it was perfect. Overall, I'll give Reign of Superman a 8 out of 10. Good, very good adaptation. And I haven't said that in a long time about some of these DC movies. Like, I really haven't. So, but this really, really was a good adaptation of Superman. I'm knowing that I think they're talking about doing a Red Sun, a Long Halloween, but let's get more out there instead of just Batman, and that's always cool for me. I love Batman too, but DC is on it. Other than that, guys, you guys take care. If you've seen Reign of Superman, guys, you tell me what you thought about it. I enjoyed it. 8 out of 10 for me. And yeah, that's it. You guys take care. This is TheMtVernonkid, your alpha, bidding you peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. Y'all take care.